is Bihlas Mimi, your English teacher, and today we are going to study page 76 and 79. It is Unit 9, Spend, Spend, and Spend. Alright, so these are some goals that we're going to learn in this unit. You may check that with yourselves. Grammar part, grammar, vocabulary, skills, and writing, okay? Giving it all away before reading. Alright, before you read the text, work with a partner. Imagine you had £1 million and had to give it away to people that you didn't know personally. Look at the list inside. How much money would you give each group and why? Imagine you had a lot of money, and you want to give that money to people. So decide how much money would you give to people, and to whom would you give the money? An old people's home, homeless people, wildlife conservation, medical research, an international disaster, a children's hospital. This belongs to you. You can do that with yourselves. Come to part 2. Are there any other groups you would rather give the money to? Who and why? Alright, so if you don't want to give the money to these people, so are there any other groups of people that you would rather give your money to? Who are those people and why? Why would you give the money to them? Okay, you may answer those questions with yourselves. Read the text. Who was Percy Rose and how did he decide who to give his money to on a regular basis? Okay, we've got text here, thanks a million. And before you read text, look at the pictures. Think about the pictures. After that, you can read the text, okay? Well, it's okay if you don't understand the meaning of some words. Just read it, okay? And I'm going to translate the words later on. And come to the second part. 5 sentences have been removed from the text. Complete the text with 5 of the sentences A to F. There is one extra sentence that you don't need. We've got sentences here, alright? And there are 5 sentences have been removed from this text. 5 from this text. You see, we've got boxes here. This box, it means you can choose one sentence and put that sentence here. Here we've got another box. You can write the letter of that sentence here. There's another one, and another one. So 5 sentences have been removed. And where are those 5 sentences? Here. And remember that we've got one extra sentence here that you don't need to just put that in those sentences in that reading. Okay, so you can do that. The third part, read the text again. Are these sentences true or false? Correct the false ones. Okay, let's read the text.
Unit 9, page 77. Read. Exercise 3. Read and listen to the text.
Thanks a million. Imagine you had won $30 million in a competition. What would you do with the money? Would you give it all away? Well, surely nobody in their right mind would do that. But in fact, over the years there have been several examples of millionaires who gave away all their money to help others. One of the most famous was the entrepreneur Percy Ross. Ross was born in 1916 in Michigan, the son of poor immigrants from Latvia and Russia. His father worked in the USA as a junk dealer. But Percy soon showed a talent for business and made a fortune in the auction business. Then disaster struck and he lost all his money. But he soon made a fortune again with another business venture, this time manufacturing plastic bags. Business boomed, and he eventually sold his plastic bag company in 1969 for millions of dollars. Ross started giving away his vast fortune in 1977. He gave $50,000 to 50 Vietnamese refugees so that they could settle in a more comfortable home in the USA. Then he held a Christmas party for 1,050 poor children in the American town of Minneapolis. He remembered that when he was a child, he really wanted a bike, but he had to do without it. His parents would have bought him one if they had been able to afford it, but they were too poor. Ross bought a bike for every one of the 1,050 children at the party. After these first experiences of donating money, Ross came up with an idea for doing it on a regular basis. He started a newspaper column called Thanks a Million in order to give away his money, and later he hosted a radio show. Readers and listeners wrote in and asked for money. If Ross thought they genuinely needed and deserved the money, he gave it to them. He received about 40,000 requests every month and sent checks to about 150 every week. His gifts included money for poor families to help with their shopping bills and $16,500 in silver coins for children at a parade. It took years, but Ross finally succeeded in giving away his entire fortune. He published his last newspaper column on the 19th of September, 1999. "I've achieved my goal," he wrote. "I've given it all away." Nobody knows exactly how much this was. "I never tell anybody," he said. "It's not a question of how much one gives. Would I be a better person if I gave away $2 million than if I gave $1 million? However, people estimate that he gave away around $30 million. And did he have any regrets when he looked back on his life? On the contrary. "If I had had twice as much," he said, "I still would have given it all away. For every person I helped, there were 400 to 500 I couldn't help." Percy Ross passed away in 2001 at the age of 85.
Alright, so now let's choose the correct and false sentences. One, Percy Ross is the only millionaire who has given away all his money. Is it true? Well, it's not, because over the years we've had lots of billionaires who give away all their money to help others, right? Yeah, there have been several millionaires, so this one is not correct. And for example, number 2, Ross's parents were born in the USA. Is that a correct sentence? No, it's not, because here we read that there. Okay, Ross was born in 1916 in Michigan, the son of poor immigrants from Latvia and Russia, right? So this is also not correct sentence, because his parents were not from the USA. Alright, so you can choose the correct and false sentences from these sentences, alright? And the next part, it's reading tip. When you need to find specific information, for example, times or prices in a text, you do not have to read every word. It's easy to find numbers quickly just by looking through it, right? Yeah, it is. Alright, read the reading tip. Explain the significance of these dates and numbers in the life of Percy Ross. For example, 1916. When you want to find this number, obviously the reading tip, you don't need to just read every single word, right? You just have to check for the numbers. Here it is, 1916. Okay, you want to look for other number. Okay, 1977. Right, another number, 50. Like $50,000, like that. All right. So, what is the significance of these numbers? You can tell from the reading. Understanding ideas. Answer the questions. Look at the text and use your own words and ideas. What qualities do you think a successful entrepreneur needs? Okay, you can answer these questions yourselves, and sure, use the reading, but you can use your own ideas, right? You can take ideas from the reading and you can paraphrase them to your own ideas. Vocabulary. Thanks a million. Match the highlighted words in the text with these definitions. Alright, let's translate. To go and live permanently in a new place. Let's call it settle, right? Where do we have settle here? There it is, settle, right? It means to go and live permanently in a new place. Second one, a natural skill or ability. It's called talent. So we've got it, talent. Third one, very big, vast. This vast fortune in 1977. Vast means very big, huge. 4, whole or complete, entire. Entire, it means whole or complete. 5, feelings of sadness about something you did or didn't do in the past. We call it regret. Or here we got regret, right? Feeling of sadness about something you did or you didn't do in the past. Number 6, public sale where things are sold to the person who offers the most money. We'll call it auction, right? Auction. Number 7, died, passed away. 8, grew rapidly, became successful. It means boomed. And the 9th one, the opposite is true, and the contrary. The contrary, it means opposite is true. And number 10, aim or objective. It means goal. In 11 pieces of paper you sign instead of paying money. It's called checks, right? A person who takes a risk by opening a new company to make money. Well, it's called entrepreneur, right? And 13, giving thanks to other people. It's called donating. And presented a radio show and talked to guests, hosted. And the last one, a project which is new and possibly risky. It means venture. Another business venture, it means another business project which is new and possibly risky, right? And do you know these words? Do without, immigrant. Yeah, immigrant is a person who goes to other country to live there, right? Junk later, make a fortune, manufacture, newspaper column on a regular basis, and a refugee. And don't forget that refugee is someone who has been forced to leave their country, especially during a war or for political or religious reasons. Call a person a refugee, right? Okay, so make sure you use these words and sentences, and also memorize these words, okay? And don't forget your workbook of page 68. So that's it for today. Have a nice time, dear students. Goodbye.